Well, I know one thing I can guarantee will happen is that Trump will say he won, whether he won or lost.
I agree with that.
Well, that's not a good thing for America,
No,
is it?
I agree
I
with that
think
too.
on January 20th, 2025, he'll show up at the White House, whether he's invited or not. And I don't think that's going to be good.
He's gonna bomb in if he lost?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Bomb is a word I wouldn't even throw around lightly.
Oh, stop it. He's not gonna do that.
Right. Like there was never an attack on the Capitol, Megan.
I hear you. But he's not going to show up at the inauguration.
Like they didn't show up at the Capitol and break windows and knock down doors and kill cops and chase.
They didn't do that.
And they didn't break windows,
They didn't
knock
kill
down
cops.
They of course did.
No, they didn't.
Who did? They died of natural causes that day?
Yeah, nobody died that day.
Cops.
No, not true. Who?
Okay.
Who?
Oh, I don't remember the names.
They didn't. There was Brian Sicknick, who died later after the fact, and the coroner's report did not say it was because of what he had inhaled that day. He said it had possibly accelerated the condition that killed him.
Okay, well, attacked cops. I thought they were
Yes.
I thought they were the law enforcement people. You know, how did we get to this place? I mean, Trump now says he's going to pardon all those January 6th insurrectionists, because who wants to live in a country where the people who try to overthrow the government are seen as the bad guys, huh?
They weren't insurrectionists, Bill.
They weren't.
They were a bunch of numbskulls.
They chased oh, that's so stupid. They chased duly elected representatives out of the building and wanted to hang the vice president for certifying the election. That's not an insurrection?
The people who engaged in violent acts or actually made threats along those lines are all being prosecuted appropriately. And I've said repeatedly, I hope they get the book thrown at them, and they've had it.
So that's not.
You're
that's
so
not
upset about the entrapment that happened of the Muslims after 9/11. How about the entrapment that happened to some of those J6 protesters?
Wait. Wait. Let's go back to what I'm upset about with the Muslims.
That we talked about after 9/11 and the feds getting involved, saying, "Don't you want to?"
Yeah.
So entrapment.
Well, they weren't Muslims. They were just guys.
All right. Well, my point is I'm not going to, again, you're making me defend things that
Then you shouldn't.
In part.
That are horrible.
But
then don't
part,
defend them. Why defend them?
Because it's more nuanced than you're suggesting. They were not insurrectionists. There was never any possibility that they were, I've heard you refer to it as a coup.
They attempted.
Going to take over the government. It wasn't going to happen. It was a protest.
They broke into
it was
the
a
Capitol.
riot.
They broke into the Capitol.
They opened the doors and let them walk in. Security was waving them in one after the other.
I could show you the footage of them knocking through the gates.
I can show you the footage of many of them being welcomed in by cops, Bill. You see, that's the difference between the two of us.
Down the doors,
I will make a distinction between those who truly behaved badly and those who thought they were having a good time in Statuary Hall.
Yeah, there were some people who just came to meander and wander around. That's true. I've seen the documentary that Alexander Pelosi did on it. It's interesting because a lot of them were just like, oh yeah, it's an interesting place to go, and let's see what happens. There's also footage of people, and there were people who absolutely intended to stop that election. Absolutely. So I don't know what you would call that. Maybe you don't like that word insurrectionist because it got it's too anti-Republican, but that's what it is.
I don't agree with you. I don't think the legal definition of insurrection they don't meet, and that's why it wasn't actually charged. It's it's a leftist dream to try to make it sound even worse than it was. These leftists who didn't care at all when their people were out in the roads killing cops, actually killing, hurting cops, killing others in the BLM protests, suddenly found their conscience when it happened on J6.
Killing cops is always wrong. Doing it in the service of trying to overthrow the government of the United States is a little bit different.
It
didn't happen because we
were
lucky it didn't happen. They tried to make it happen. Attempting to commit a crime is bad. Trump tries to commit crimes all the time, like this one. The fact that he doesn't succeed doesn't make it better. It makes it better for the country. Let's see what happens next time. We are not exactly like the detective and the serial killer. Oh, we're a lot more alike than you think. We're actually not that alike, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah. I agree. We see a very different reality. Which is fine. I mean,
it is fine. We have to be able to talk and disagree and still be civil.
I think we're doing